just to keep people informed, I know I said I've made a small bet on AGQ. Um, I just sold it. I just sold it. Okay, so I don't know what it's going to do overnight. I already had a gain on it in a few days. It was actually a little bit below this. I think it was 62.50, and I got it for I think 60.25 around there. So for a few days, it got over 3%. So I took the gain. Thanks. Um, One of my decisions why I sold that, I saw that now the normally goes with the market. Sometimes the metals start going in a bull run for days at a time, but a lot of times it seems like we had a very good day today. Crude oil was up all across the board. Everything was up. The dollar was down. A lot of times you'll see a little bit of a pullback pretty soon. So if I see silver drop down a little bit, I'll probably might buy the AGQ back, or whatever I see drops down where I think it's going to be a good steal. Um, it may be the oil. It may be the oil. So my plan is, like, I have a core position mainly in physical metals, and I also have electronic funds, and I have a core position in them. But I will keep cash and trade in and out. Now, I wasn't trading in and out because, well, I was in 2010. And I recognized the bulk of my gains in early 2011. And I did not feel like recognizing more gains in 2011. So I sat on a lot of stuff. That's why I wasn't trading too much. But actually, I was still grabbing some stuff. Like I made a bet on double leveraged gold, and I wish I bet a hell of a lot on it, but that returned 55%. Thank you. And I wound up selling it at 19 something when gold was 19 something. Partly because I was listening to Mark Faber. He said something that made sense to me. That, as he says in that German accent, I think the gold is kind of high right now because, it's been a record. It's never been this high, and I think there's time for a pullback. Whatever he says. And then it made sense to me, so I got rid of it. I took my gain. To tell you the truth, I don't know. Obviously, not everybody's gonna win. So I'm not out to save the world, basically. But I'm telling you, most people, either they get caught up in emotions or whatever they're doing. I don't know. And I don't necessarily go by. I use more like what I call common sense. And I listen to people. Yeah, including Lindsey Williams. But as far as trading in and out, you can make money because most people are not even looking at this stuff. That's the reason you can win. Most people are not even trying to move in and out of the markets. They're just sitting on funds. I know they got people managing their funds for them and stuff like that, but there's anybody who manages your funds. You don't know what the top people on it are actually telling their brokers to do. There's a lot of games that go on, and obviously the sheep get their wool fleeced every once in a while. So I'd be careful about doing things though, and secure your gains in steps. That always seemed to work good for me. So just be conservative about it. So I had a gain here. I took it. It was actually a little bit too soon because it went up a little more. Be nice to sell it at whatever. It could be even higher tomorrow. But, fish stories don't mean nothing. It's what you're getting now. So 3 days, took over 3% gain. I took it. It's mine. Thank you. And I know that's not exactly what the holders of physical silver want to say. They call it gambling. But I say, so what? I don't know. I know, like, my uncle used to gamble, who was a CPA, and he gambled on the side in both stocks and on the horse races in the Meadowlands, and he used to win. And he's the one that taught my cousin's ex, who must have took it a lot further, because he was so good at gambling, he was banned from money to the casinos in Atlantic City. And he's professional. He even won a whole condo worth so many hundreds of thousands of dollars in a card game. So, I don't know if I'm going to do that kind of stuff, but, it taught me that, you know, it works. It works for some people, and it don't work for others. But my way of doing things is very conservative. I am mainly into the physical for metals, and I have core positions in ETFs. And I'll do this on a side only when I see drops in different things. Like maybe I'm waiting too long for oil to drop. Maybe I think it's going to drop to 95 or 94. And maybe it's not. I also had a slight amount of UCO. I got rid of it today because oil went up pretty good. I expect possibly these commodities to maybe pull back a little bit this week. Then I might buy something back. But I always figure as long as I buy it back cheaper, that's what you got to do. It's just like shopping at Kmart or something, Same type of deal. And that's really my simple method. Believe me, it works. It works. But I listen to everything too. And one common sense thing is, right now, it's not going to be so scary to bet on the metals the way it was when it's up near a high. When things start heating up and you're starting to get some serious gains hard up, it's going way up fast, it's going 5% move like that, and it does another 5% move, that market's actually getting dangerous. It's getting very dangerous because it's not going to continue like that ad infinitum. So right now, the markets are relatively safe because things are still out of whack. Even gold is still more money than platinum. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And, the silver bugs, I'm not going to knock this stuff, but, silver's not going to just run way up, and platinum and palladium are going to stay down. They're all going to run up together pretty much. Pretty much. They don't run exactly together. But you're not going to have one be extremely depressed and one fly off going way the hell up. That's not how it works. So right now it's a pretty safe bet to get into any of the industrial metals, even now with the move that it's been made. But I'm kind of playing some more money short on a shorter time frame basis. And since there was such a good day today in the metals, I figure I'd sell some and possibly see if I can get in a little lower during the week. And I think that's common sense. And sometimes common sense goes a hell of a lot further than all the other garbage that's out there with 50 million numbers. And I tell you the truth, I could pump out the most complex spreadsheets, access, queries, pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, any kind of formula you got in advanced Excel. And I did a lot of reporting for, I don't want to say who the guy's name was. He's actually dead now, but he was one of the major financiers of construction in the whole country. And this guy was extremely aggressive. And I wasn't working directly for him, but the other guy down here in Florida, who was his main guy, I did all the reporting going to the guy that was pumping the money into this guy in Florida. So I can get out there with a lot of information, but I find that a lot of times the most simple thing is the thing to look at. Don't get lost in the BS. Keep it simple. That's what works.